A new season starts September 13th for the Dot Jazz Series. The performances are a collaboration of Greater Ashmont Main Street and Mandorla Music. Joining us are the producer of Mandorla Music, Mark Redmond, and the headline performer on trumpet, Jason Palmer. Thank you both for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
I want to start with Mark and the collaboration that got this started. A Main Street program and a jazz producer. Why did that come about?
Well, I'd been presenting jazz in a couple of small rooms in Somerville for several years when I got talking with Jen Carté, who's the executive director at Greater Ashmont Main Street. She and I are friends from when our kids were in nursery school together. And I shared with her that I was, having always lived on the Dorchester end of town, now in Milton, but in Dorchester for some years, I shared with her that I was eager to try to present some music in that part of town where there's fewer opportunities to see live music of any kind, live jazz in particular. And this fit well with some aspirations that her organization had to support arts in the area. And actually, so Jason was part of our first collaboration about a year and a half ago, April of 2017. We did a one-off event. I called Jason and he was eager to be part of it, and we presented his quartet at that time, and the response was fantastic, which led us to pursue something more regular. So September 13th is the beginning of our second full year of programming there.
What was that like for you last year, Jason, that performance?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. It was one of the first performances I had with my new pianist at the time, Domi DeGal. So it was nice to be in a very nice warm environment, and the acoustics were great for that room, and the drummer, he's very acute at playing certain rooms, and he knew exactly how to set the mood acoustically for the space, so it was a lot of fun.
Jason, what about your music education here in Boston? You went to New England Conservatory, you went to Wally sometimes, which is a little more than around the corner. What was that like for you?
It was really eye-opening because I grew up in North Carolina and there wasn't much to play or hear down there. So when I came here, I was submerged in an entirely new culture for me. And I was just a willing sponge. I soaked in everything. I went to clubs, I snuck in if I was underage, same thing with Wally's. And it was a great education in school in New England Conservatory as well as Boston's Wally Jazz Cafe and other clubs around the area.
Yeah, maybe we can bring up a little bit of this clip here with Jason playing at Wally's. Mark, what about the venue for the Dot Jazz Series? This is a very different place. It's not Scullers, it's not Wally's, it's church.
It's
almost.
not, yeah. Peabody Hall at All Saints Church on Ashmont Street is a room that for many years has been host to the Ashmont Hill Chamber Music Series. So it's a room that's associated with live music. Feels great. It's a nice size, accommodates the kinds of healthy turnout we've been having, and still feels intimate, and it sounds wonderful there. There's a small recessed stage area, and it's a great location. I think part of what's been exciting about this is that we not only have folks from the neighborhood who've been eager for performing arts nearby been coming out, but also folks who haven't probably spent much time in the Ashmont neighborhood before have been coming to the concert. Right around the corner from Ashmont train station, there's parking at the church. There's some of the best restaurants around there in the neighborhood there. So it's been a great spot for us.
Coming back to Jason, at Wally's, I imagine you're cheek by jowl with people who know the music inside out. You go to All Saints Church. Could be people who are new to jazz. What's it like when you're playing for people who just maybe they're getting it for the first time?
I try not to play any more different than I would, when I play to crowds who may be new or who know the music. I try to represent the best that I can be and the best that my band can be. But if I know that the crowd is new to the music, then when I'm improvising, I'll try to throw in quotations of songs that they may know, just to bring a relation to it. So it's a musical challenge to me in that way, but I always try to make it in a really musical, tangible way for them to hear. So.
On your clip, I recognize some quotations from Dizzy Gillespie, Night in Tunisia. Is this one of your idols growing up?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, he grew up. He was from the South. He was from South Carolina, and I grew up in North Carolina. So I found out about him fairly early in my life. So.
Mark, what about some of the other concerts going to be coming up a bit later? Because you've got things every other month, right?
Yeah, we're doing it bi-month, the first Thursday of every other month from September to May. And a very exciting lineup. I mean, a real nice mix of things. I mean, so, and fortunate to have players of the kind of notoriety and prominence of Jason all throughout the year. So Jason's band will start us off. In November, a great vocalist, Semenya McCord, who was active in the Boston scene for many years and now lives in Illinois, but maintains strong ties to players here, is going to come to play with a sextet, actually, which is a fantastic lineup. In January, Jerry Bergonzi, one of the top tenor players anywhere, really, who calls Boston home when he's not on tour, is going to bring his quintet. In March, a trio I'm really excited about called Mixcla, which is led by Zahili Gonzalez Zamora. Do you know her? Yeah, wonderful Cuban piano player who came here to Berkeley and is performing in a trio format, performing mostly original Cuban derived music. And then we're going to close the year with a really special one for me. Players that associated with Dorchester, Curtis Rivers and Alon Bukowski, for many years had a Sunday evening residency at the Ramsey Toy VFW post near Codman Square. One of the best things that you could find in Boston jazz at that time. That residency is no more, but those guys are still very active, and they'll be back to close the year in May.
And Jason, what about your collaborators at this concert that's coming up?
Yeah, I'm going to bring in a quintet, and it's going to feature a tenor player. He's a great artist, great composer. His name's Noah Preminger. Then I'm going to feature a pianist, a local guy named Kevin Harris. And then the newest member of my band is the bassist Max Ridley, and the longest standing member is Lee Fish. He's going to be on drums.
Well, if people want to keep track of you and your collaborators, you've got a place they can check that out on social media, maybe?
Yes, I have a website. I have my website's jasonpalmermusic.com, and I'm on Facebook, and I'm easy to find. Yeah.
And Mark, people want some information about the series?
.jazz.org.
Okay, thank you for being with us.
Great, thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Mark Redmond and Jason Palmer.